Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 101. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Happy December. Happy December.
December college football playoff.
It's that time.
It's coming up right now. So a lot of debate about that today. A lot of debate about it because college football playoff one of the most controversial topics in sports.
And due to the fact that today is December 1st, where we are filming December 1st, we got a little tree donated to the set. As you can see behind me, it's not bright and shiny like we hoped. There's no lights. However, we do have a tree to acknowledge that it is Christmas time. I don't know if you can see or not. You can maybe zoom in, but we got our special 101 ornaments. This is Christian's ornament. It's got his name engraved on the back. We got a rubber ducky, snow globe, Santa Claus. We hope you enjoy the tree. We got a Christmas special coming up once we get closer to the holiday.
Yeah,
and we're really excited for that.
Alright guys, let's start the show. Assuming that Clemson defeats Pitt in the ACC Championship tonight, Alabama, Clemson, and Notre Dame will be 3 out of the 4 teams in the playoff. Who should get the 4th spot? Christian.
Well, the committee's job is what? To put the 4 best teams into the college football playoff. Does not matter what their record is. I mean, it obviously does matter what their record is. But the goal of the college football committee is to put the best 4 teams in. And the reason why we don't go by record, and that's why UCF is not in the college football playoff, because they are not one of the 4 best teams in the country. I'm sorry, UCF fans. I'm a fan of your team. I like the underdog, but you guys are not one of the 4 best teams in the country. So I think the 4th best team in the country is the Georgia Bulldogs. And we were just watching the Alabama-Georgia game, and Alabama won that game. And this guy right now, he's been raving about Alabama the whole season. Georgia was beating them in the second half. And we both thought at some point they were going to win. So when Alabama was blown everyone out, Tua didn't have to play in a 4th quarter since, I forget when, but it was a while. Georgia, I think, is definitely one of the top 4 teams in the country. I would actually put them right now at number 2. Obviously, they have the 4 losses, so you cannot put them at number 2. But they deserve the number 4 seed. They are the 2nd best team in the country right now. They should not be the number 2 seed because of those 2 losses. I know he's going to say no 2-loss team has ever made the playoff before. But their goal is with the 4 best teams in the playoff. The Georgia Bulldogs deserve that number 4 spot.
I disagree with you 100%. We have 3 undefeated teams right now, assuming that Clemson wins tonight against Pitt. There's never been a 2-loss team. I wasn't going to say that until you mentioned it. Don't act like you know exactly what I'm going to say every time. I know we're good friends, but I'm not that predictable. I think it's Ohio State. I think they're the 4th best team. They got a way more impressive resume than Georgia does. Georgia's got wins over who?
Oh, Georgia is in the SEC, the best conference in football.
But who have they beat?
Well, their one loss is to LSU. Ohio State's one loss was to Purdue. They got blown out by Purdue. Ohio State got blown out by Purdue. A 500 seed.
They're a 2-loss team as of 20, 30 minutes ago. Who have they beat? You did not give me one great name about who they beat. I just want a name. Can you give me a name?
They've played in the SEC.
I want a name of a team. That's all I want. This is my turn to talk. I want a name of a team. If you say that you said that they were the 2nd best team, how can they be the 2nd best team if they have 2 losses to LSU and to Alabama? All I want is a team that they beat.
Auburn, right? They play Auburn. What I'm saying is they play. Yeah, they play. No, they beat Florida. Or they beat Florida. Florida is a top 10 team. Florida's a top 10 team. They're number 9 in the country right now.
All I wanted to name. Thank you. Back to Ohio State. They got a win over Michigan, a 7th ranked team as of right now. Michigan State, a decent team, great in the Big 12, and against Penn State, who is a great program. We got to ignore the Purdue fluke that it was. It was a complete fluke. A lot of championship teams have had games like that. Clemson, in the year that they won the college football playoff, who did they lose to? Unfortunately, Pitt. That was a fluke game because we saw that Clemson was definitely the best team that year. I predict that they will beat Northwestern tonight, but if they don't, I think Oklahoma deserves that spot. in front of Georgia. Because they had the conference championship. Georgia has no conference championship.
Alabama didn't have a conference championship last year, and they won.
And that's why they got the 4 seed.
And I think Georgia is capable of winning it all. I mean, they just almost beat Alabama in the SEC championship game. You put Ohio State.
Tua got hurt in the fourth quarter, and Jalen had to come in.
But Jalen Hurts hasn't done too bad for Alabama, has he?
I'm sorry?
Jalen Hurts hasn't done too bad for Alabama, has he?
He's not Tua. He ain't no Tua.
But Jalen Hurts, remember, Tua didn't even get the start until the fourth quarter. And what I'm saying is, if you put Ohio State or Oklahoma in that 4th spot, they got blown out by Alabama. Georgia
Go ahead.
Georgia competed with Alabama. Ohio State or
Did they win the game?
Watch Ohio State or Oklahoma get blown out of the water by Alabama.
Simple yes or no question. Did they win the game?
They did not win the game.
Are they a 2-loss team?
They are a 2-loss team.
How many losses does Ohio State have?
1.
Are they a conference champion if they beat
All
Northwestern?
right, my turn. How many losses did UCF have last year?
0.
Would you say they are a top 4 team?
No.
Would you say that they're
because they don't have 3 impressive wins like Ohio State does, and they don't have a conference. Well, they probably will get.
All right, let's move on.
I'm angry right now. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Alright, it's time for Panic or Patience. Today we will decide if the Washington Redskins fans should have panic or patience about their team's chances to make the playoffs. Christian, why don't you start?
So, I mean, this is his team. So I think he'll probably push the panic button, because as a fan, you're most likely to push the panic button. But you know what? I'm gonna go with the patience button right here. And I know Alex Smith is out, right? And you're thinking, I love Alex Smith, but sometimes when you think a team's chances is over because their quarterback is hurt, just like the Eagles when Carson Wentz got hurt, the backup actually does a pretty good job, and Colt McCoy is capable of doing a good job. How can you panic on a team when they are only a half game back in their division? The Washington Redskins, they are not even a game back. They're still very much in the running, and their last 2 losses have been against 2 very hot teams. The Houston Texans haven't lost since week 3, and the Houston Texans are balling right now. And the Dallas Cowboys actually have surprised me, and they just beat the New Orleans Saints, who I think is the best team in football. So I think the Redskins, those are 2 losses, but I'll take those 2 losses. And they have a good last 5 games. They have a good stretch.
Right.
They could finish. They could win 4 of the last 5.
Okay. Let me elucidate something. The Washington Redskins are a half game behind one of the hottest teams. You said that they were a half game behind. Then you called the Dallas Cowboys one of the hottest teams. You did not clearly say, yes, the Washington Redskins are a half game behind one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now, the Dallas Cowboys. Who do they play Monday night? The defending champion Philadelphia Eagles, who are a sleeper to win the NFC East. They have a chance. You said that they should be patient about their playoff hopes too. They got another game against Philadelphia.
I said the Eagles should panic.
I don't think so.
I did say the Eagles should panic. You would.
I think it's the other way around. We can go to the tape afterwards. But I know I'm right about that.
All right, we'll put
2 games against Philadelphia. A game against, Jacksonville in Jacksonville, which will be tough, especially with the backup quarterback. They were your AFC champion. A game against Tennessee. A game against the Giants, which is a divisional game. Those can always be tough, and they should not be ignored. And you mentioned something that I think should be mentioned, with the Redskins claiming Reuben Foster this week, a controversial move that I do not agree with. That can severely mess up the chemistry of their defense, which has been, in my opinion, top 5 this season. Their defense has been top 5 level. They just played great. They've had great chemistry all around.
So you ready to panic button?
Yes, I'm hitting panic. There we go. Panic button's pushed. And with Doug Williams making the controversial comment that he did, referring to Reuben Foster's alleged actions as small potatoes compared to other things, which was, I couldn't believe the comment. something like that kind of drama weighs a team down more than people really think. The Redskins have great defensive talent, but it's hard when you got Foster, somebody brand new, right after we're past the midpoint of the season, to bring in this guy who is under a lot of investigation from the police department. It can severely mess up the chemistry of their defense. Their offense has been terrible all season, and now they got a worse quarterback in that spot.
Okay, let's move on.
It's time to hit the panic button.
It's time for our NFL predictions. Jonathan is in the lead at 9-1 after the Rams win over the Chiefs, and Christian is at 8-2. First up is the Baltimore Ravens against the Atlanta Falcons. Jonathan.
Well, we better be thankful that the Rams pulled that one off, because can we agree that whoever loses that does do a punishment?
Whoever loses the
prediction.
All right,
whoever has the worst record of the prediction game between Christian and I will serve a punishment just as Hanley did on the episode where he got water dumped on his head. Ravens and Falcons. I'm going with the Falcons. Did we just disagree on everything today?
I think so.
This is a bad day.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, the viewers, this is a good episode.
It is. I think they like seeing this fight. It's Lamar Jackson's first road start, if he starts. There's a lot of uncertainty around that quarterback position. We don't know what's going on. There could be something completely different that we don't know what's going on tomorrow. There might be two quarterbacks playing. There's a lot of uncertainty that I can't put my trust into. I cannot invest in that in that situation right now. It just obfuscates me so much when we just had that uncertainty in the we just got that uncertainty in the quarterback position. The Falcons, yeah, they lost to the Saints on Thanksgiving Day, but it's the Saints, okay? The Saints, you can make an argument that they are the best team in the NFL, in the NFC at least. I still go with the Rams as the best team in the NFC. With the help of John Jones is going to be back. I think the Falcons can pull this off in Atlanta against a young Lamar Jackson if he starts on the road for his first time.
All right, Christian.
Well, I completely disagree with that.
Oh.
And I think that the Ravens, they're trending up. The Atlanta Falcons, down. They keep going down. They've lost their last three. The panic button, and we just did that segment, if we were to do it on the Falcons, the panic button has long been pushed on their season. And, this is a team that usually makes the playoffs. And I really, is that motivation factor still there? Not, they're out of the playoff push. The Ravens, meanwhile, they're very much in it. This is a game that they really need to win. Not need to win, but this would definitely help their cause going into Atlanta and winning this game. Lamar Jackson has impressed me so far. He's dual threat quarterback, and I think the Ravens. This is an easy one for me. I got Baltimore.
This guy's getting me so rounded up today, I can't even take it. I know we don't got much time left. We got 6.5 minutes. We got to move on to the next prediction.
That was pretty good, I gotta say.
Next up is the LA Chargers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jonathan.
I'm going with my Steelers on this one. It's in Pittsburgh on Sunday night, prime time. The most watched prime time event of the year is Sunday Night Football. Fun stat. Although the Chargers, they're good on the road. They're 4-1. I don't think they can go into Pittsburgh and win. I think the Steelers could bounce back from their disappointing loss against Denver last week. And I can see them getting this done against a very good, respectable Chargers team.
We just disagree on everything today.
Man, come on.
The LA Chargers are one of the most underrated teams in the league right now. They're just getting the job done. And Pittsburgh is they're in the spotlight right now. And I think the Chargers, they said, I read something, they said they're using not being in the spotlight as motivation. I think they're going to be really excited to go into Pittsburgh and win this game. Is it in Pittsburgh?
It is.
Is Pittsburgh? Yeah, just want to make sure. Going into Pittsburgh and winning this game. I think the LA Chargers, I think Phillip Rivers, whenever people say he's a good quarterback, and I'll take him over Big Ben.
You can't ignore Melvin Gordon's MCL sprain.
I know. I still think. I mean, they still have Austin.
I mean, that's
Eckler.
a huge part of their offense.
Well, they still have Austin Eckler, who's not. He's not Gordon, but I still think that he can
Austin
get the job
Eckler?
done. I also that Chargers defense is
against a really good Pittsburgh.
That Chargers defense is very good. Remember, these two teams both played the Broncos recently. The Chargers did do better against the Broncos and the Steelers, so that's something you can weigh. I think that the Chargers. I'm not. I think this is a close one, but I kind of take the LA Chargers in this
one. The Chargers are the weird uncle of the AFC, kind of, because they're pretty good, but like we talk about them, but it's just kind of a weird situation because they get overshadowed by the Chiefs. The Steelers are gonna win that one.
All right, let's move on. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots face Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. Christian.
New England Patriots. Tom Brady. I'm done. You go.
Okay. Yeah, we agree on something. I picked the Patriots too. New England is obviously the better team than the Minnesota Vikings, who are at 6-4-1 right now. They've had a putrid run game all season. Obviously, the Dalvin Cook situation is unfortunate. Latavius Murray he's just not getting things done. They need to be done for the Minnesota offense. They've had road problems. Minnesota has. I think they're 2-1 on the road. Not that impressive for a team that is supposed to go in to New England tomorrow and beat the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, in Gillette. I've got to go with the Patriots, and I think they're going to get this done. And I think with the Chiefs releasing Kareem Hunt, the Patriots have a really good shot at winning the AFC, maybe even winning another Super Bowl for Tom Brady.
Not much more to say. It's time for our last topic. There has been much debate on whether the college football playoffs should be expanded or not. Should the playoffs be expanded, and if so, to how many teams? Jonathan.
It should be expanded to 6 teams. Now, my format is exactly how the NFL conference format is, where you got the 1st and 2 seeds get a bye, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. This means that all Power 5 conference champions will get a spot in the college football playoff, including a wild card, which in this case could be Georgia, because they're a great team. Georgia is, but they haven't had the conference championship, so this allows them to get in with Ohio State and Oklahoma and the Pac-12 champion. Even though obviously the Pac-12 champion this year is not one of the 5 best teams. But yes, I think this is what we should do because the Big 12 gets disrespected due to their 10-team factor. Every Big 12 team has to play 9 conference games against the rest of the Big 10, which is unfair and is not taken into consideration when we decide if the Big 12 deserves a spot. I know their defense is shaky, but it allows no conference discrimination. It lets you win your conference championship and get in, plus a wild card, which could be UCF to make the UCF fans happy if they want to.
All right, Christian?
So I'm going to disagree with that. I don't have a lot of problems with this system. I think we go to an 18 playoff. I think that the 16 playoff, what you said is interesting. It's interesting, but my problem with that is when rookies in the NFL, they hit their rookie wall. About when the postseason in college football, the rookie wall, they get injured sometimes. And I think when you put 6 teams, remember when Alabama won last year, they were the 4 seed. Do you think going into that, Clemson has a while longer
So you think it should be expanded or not?
I think it should be expanded to 8 teams. That's what I said. Because I think that the team should have the same amount of games because I think in college you have more chances for injuries. So I got to go 8.
All right.
I'd love to see UCF get in too.
Okay, it's time for FaceTime. Jonathan?
Well, I'm sorry, ladies, but I'm going to have to cover up Hanley's face here for a second to throw up this picture of Sister Jean. You might recognize her from March Madness. She is the Loyola Chicago luck charm. This week, she got her Final Four ring, which was well-deserving, because I'm not sure if Loyola Chicago makes this Final Four thing if it's not for her. Great job, Sister Jean, and have a great season, Loyola Chicago.
Well, I'm going to use my FaceTime to tell you about the 100 subscriber video. So when we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to have video all our faithful watchers can come on. So tell your family, friends, and tell them to subscribe.
See you guys.